Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you are in the world. Welcome to Verbling. And I am Teacher Oakley. Welcome to the class. Today, we will be discussing the Toefl test. A bit of a primer today, and our focus will be looking at the scoring rubrics for the test. How is it scored? And maybe we'll have some points to figure out how we can use the scoring to our advantage. Okay, Rasaal notes that the join button is still blue, and as blue as cold ice. Very descriptive. I'll be soon in one of my upcoming classes. I will be doing a class on analogy and simile. Hopefully, Rasaal can join us for this class. Okay. All right. I expect that the button will be turning green any second. If you don't want to wait for the green button, of course, you should be trying to get that premium. Yeah, and you can join the class immediately. Okay, once again, we're going to be talking about Toefl. We're going to be looking at the scoring rubrics, and we'll be doing a little bit of practice as well. Okay, and I'll give you feedback how your answers would look to a Toefl scorer. Okay, so come on in and join the class. It's really important for anyone who is planning on taking a Toefl course in the upcoming future. Okay. I believe that you can now push the old green button up there and join the class. Okay, a lot of students coming in right now. Okay, welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, everyone.
Welcome.
Hello, hello, Miguel. How are you?
Fine, you, teacher?
I'm doing great. How are you? Okay, hello to Meadow. Nice to see you back again.
Hi.
Hi, how are you today?
Thank you. I'm good, thank you.
Okay, very good. Rasaal, always good to see you, buddy.
Hello, teacher.
Hello. And Tiago's back again. Hey.
Hey, Oakley. How are you doing?
I'm super cool and groovy, buddy. I'm good. Very good. And, okay, Wolfgang. Wolfgang Icarus. What a interesting, cool name.
Yeah, it's not even my real name.
Ah, that's why.
I wish I had a name like this.
Yeah, that would be a very cool name to have. You know who Icarus is, of course.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wolfgang just sounds so cool.
Wolfgang sounds cool, and I like Icarus. Do you guys know who Icarus is?
Yeah, from Greek mythology, I guess.
Very good, Thiago. Absolutely correct. Yeah, him and his father Daedalus, not sure the pronunciation, but they made wings from birds' feathers and wax, and they tried to fly out of prison. But Icarus was so excited by his flight, he flew too close to the sun, and the wax on his wings melted, and he plummeted to his death. Yeah. Very exciting story. Okay.
And the Wolfgang, I guess,
All right.
is the Mozart first name, I guess. Wolfgang is Mozart, right?
I guess you're absolutely correct. That's right. So, all right. Famous names. All right.
Yeah.
Let me give it just a second here. I seem to be a little stuck, maybe because there's some movement in the classes, so I want to just give Google a second to catch up here, and then we'll get started. Oh, come on now.
What is the time on your place, teacher?
What time is it here? It's
Yes.
10:05 a.m. morning time. How about where you are?
It's 9 p.m. 9:05 p.m.
All right.
in Albany.
Okay. In Albany, that's right. Close to where I'm originally from, Vermont. Okay. We'll get started. Just a quick shout out and howdy and hello to a couple of students who just came in. Alex, good morning. I've seen you before. Hi, Alex.
Hi, Oakley.
How are you today?
Fine, thanks.
Okay. Glad to hear it. We'll talk to you later. And, oh boy, Graziani? Is that right? Graziani, are you there? Okay. All right. And hello to Richard, too. Hi, Richard. Good to see you back.
Hi, teacher. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. Thanks. Okay, so let's get started. We're going to talk about Toefl. First of all, just for those, I know a lot of you are familiar, but for those who may not be, a real quick primer on what to expect when you're taking the Toefl test. First of all, it takes about 20 minutes, and of course, it is a test. The speaking Toefl IBT is to basically measure your ability to express yourself in English on a variety of topics. There are 6 tasks or 6 questions. 2 kinds. The first 2 questions, 1 and 2, are called independent questions. In other words, you just ask a question and you answer the question. Very simple. Questions 4, 5, 6, and 7 are what are called integrated. Okay, in questions 3 and 4, you're given time to do a little reading, and then you listen to a conversation, I believe in 3, and then in number 4, you listen to a short lecture from like a college professor. Of course, Toefl is an academics-based test, so topics are usually academic, although in questions 1 and 2, these can be like personal experience questions. Definitely 3, 4, 5, 6 questions are academic based. The conversation type questions are based on a lot of times on like college life, new policies that you might have at university, or classroom scheduling, things of that nature. And so questions 5 and 6, you are also integrated. You're listening, only you don't have the reading, but similar to 3 and 4. Toefl is a timed test. Okay, so you're given what is really going to seem like a very, very short amount of time to prepare. That's going to go by fast. And then you have a certain amount of time you can speak. For example, in the first 2 independent okay, in the first 2 independent, let's see, you'll have a very, very short amount of time, 15 seconds, I believe, to prepare. Okay. Oh, actually, no. Maybe it's 30 seconds. Yeah.
No, it's first 2 are 15 seconds.
15. I was right.
And integrated 3 and 4 are 30. And
30, yeah.
5 and 6 are 20.
20. Yeah, that's right. Sorry, I was getting. Thank you very much, Russell. Thanks. And okay, so the first 2 questions, your speaking time is 45 seconds. The next questions 3 and 4, 1 minute or 60 seconds, and 5 and 6 also 1 minute. You can take notes. I highly recommend that you do. But of course, you don't have a lot of time to take notes. So obviously, it's not a good idea to try to actually write out your answer, full sentences. You're never going to have enough time to do that. Much better that you maybe write down some keywords that you would like to use in your speaking. Okay, and then by using the keywords, often that gives us a chance to figure out our line of speaking. All right, now that's just a quick overview of what the test is. Now let's talk about the focus of today's class, which is the scoring. Okay, now I got to be honest with you. I've done a lot of work with scoring IELTS, TOEIC tests, and somewhat with Toefl. TOEFL scoring is the hardest to talk about, okay? TOEIC and IELTS are much more quantitative, meaning numbers. I can actually attach physical numbers, actual numbers, and to score. TOEFL's a little more difficult because it's much more qualitative, the quality of the answer. So a lot is in the hands of the people scoring your test and how they interpret your answer. Now, how they interpret your answer, a lot of that is the person scoring the test. A lot of how they score the test is how much effort does it take them to understand your answer. Is it very simple? Obviously, you're going to be scored by native speakers. Is it very easy for me to understand what you're trying to say? What is your point? What is your opinion? Okay. Okay, well, that's basically it. It's very qualitative. Now, hopefully, before you guys came to the class, and even if you didn't, you can still get it. Just below the class description, I uploaded a document, all right, which is titled, what is it? What is it titled? It's titled TOEFL Speaking Scoring Rubric. A rubric is a set of rules we use for scoring. If you didn't get that, you should go and get that to keep it for your personal reference, whatever. If you have it, it will help you follow along with this class. Okay? So, scoring, what is a perfect score is 4. Okay, you can get scores 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, of course, in the IBT, if you guys can do very, very basic math, you would quickly realize, okay, perfect is 4, and there's 6 questions. 6 times 4 is 24. But a perfect score in TOEFL IBT would be 30, right? So they are scaled. All right? That part is really confusing, and I'm not even going to tackle that today, how they score it. But basically, obviously, if you get a 24 score, you'd get a 23, something like that. The scoring, scaling can be a little different and has a lot of factors. But so basically, you're looking to get 4 out of 4. Anyway, I'm sure. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the scoring. Obviously, I'm going to start from 0 and go up to perfect score. I'm going to start with 0 is no response. You don't say anything. Or you talk about something completely unrelated. The question is about pets, and you talk about politics. Okay, if your answer has nothing to do with the question, then you're going to get a 0. All right. Question, okay. Basically, all right, the scoring is broken down into 3 main elements. which are content. All right. Obviously, does your answer fulfill the obligations of the question? Are you answering the question? And are you organized? Extremely important. Is your answer organized? Content. Delivery. This has to do with your fluency. Are there pauses? Is your speech clear? Your stress, intonation, rhythm, blending, all these types of things. Is your speech fluid or fluent? You know, someone who's very good at a language is fluent. That's, I could say delivery, I could say fluency, actually. And then the third part is language, and this basically includes grammar and vocabulary. TOEIC and IELTS separate these two elements, grammar and vocabulary. In TOEFL, they're basically one section. Okay, so obviously you're looking at vocabulary, you're looking at things like, are you repeating words? Do you know how to use different forms of words? For example, let's do a quick exercise here, and then we'll start to talk about elements of scoring. Real quick exercise. I'm going to give you a word, and I want to see if you guys, I'm going to test your vocabulary just a little bit. I'm going to go around and call on everyone. I'm going to give you a word, and I just typed it in the text box. The word is sense. Sense has a very large word family, meaning that there are, we can add, I can add beginnings of words and ending sounds, suffixes, I forgot the word, suffixes and prefixes, and I can change this simple word sense. I can change it into different noun forms, adjective forms, adverbs. So this is actually very important, the ability to use these. Let's just do a simple exercise. Can you give me a word in the word family? Russell?
Yeah, sensible.
Sensible. Are you sensible?
Yes.
Just checking. Richard. All right, I got sensible. Can you give me one?
Strambly.
Sensation?
Very good. Richard, are you a sensation? Or would you like to be? Something that ignites our senses, something that we find very exciting is a sensation. Richard's a sensation. Okay. Awesome.
Excited.
Chuck?
Feeling?
Sensation?
Feeling.
Yeah, well, sense has many different words, okay? We can talk about our senses. How we perceive something, our senses, like taste, smell, touch.
Okay.
Or we can talk about sense, like sensible, meaning having, being logical, or somewhat having some kind of a reasonable, logical, some kind of organization to our thinking. Oh, Rosal, you're taking other people's possibilities. Thiago.
Did people say sensibility?
No, nobody did.
So sensibility.
Okay, and I can't remember how to spell it. Hey,
I really don't know.
Okay, you guys.
S-I-B.
I think that's it. You guys, just so you know, I may be a native speaker, but like many native speakers, I certainly don't know every English word, and I most definitely and certainly don't know how to spell every English word. Carolina, oh, very good to see you. How are you?
Hello. Fine, and you?
I'm good. Nice to see you. And can you give me another word in the word family of sense?
ceiling, they just say that, no?
I'm sorry. I'm trying to. Well, like we have different words in the word family. Sensibility. What was it? Sensible. Sensation.
No, I don't know.
Okay. Right.
Excited, maybe excited, teacher?
Excited?
Yep.
I think, well, that's a good, okay. Excited. I don't think so, but I am not absolutely sure, to tell you the truth. I would have to check on that to see if they are derived from the same word family.
Teacher,
Okay, a bunch of, yeah.
maybe feel or feeling. I don't know.
Well, no, when I talk about word families, what I'm talking about here are words that come from the same root word. Okay, a long time ago, there was a root word, perhaps in Latin, and maybe it was ancient Rome or something. Okay, I'm getting a lot of responses from both in and out of the class. So, yeah, okay, nonsense, sensor, so something that senses, sentiment. Ooh, good one, Carolina, comes through. Yes, I think sentiment definitely is how somebody feels something, the sentiment or the sense that something brings. Sentimental. Oh my God! All right, look at this, people.
Teacher,
Okay, there are others. Sensitively. All right. Sensationalism. Ahmed, thank you. Sensate. Ahmed comes through in the text box with many more. All right. So clearly, this is an enormous word family. But we call that a word family. The words sensitive, yes. Sensitively. I can add another ly ending and make it an adverb. A word family is made up of the nouns and verbs and adjectives and adverbs that can all be made from one root word. All right. In any test, whatever, Toefl, whatever, if you can correctly use one word but in different ways within the word family, you can use the adverb or the adjective or the noun form correctly and grammatically correctly, you are almost certainly going to get a level 4 in Toefl, because you're both showing you have the grammar skill to use it and the knowledge of the vocabulary word itself. It's this is just one small tip, something that would almost, in that one area, now that's of course your fluency or your organization, that doesn't affect, but in the area of vocabulary and grammar, you're almost certainly going to get a level 4 if you're able to do that and do it well. Okay, let's go back to our scoring rubric. All right. Okay. All right. Obviously, you're looking for level 4, but let's look at level 1. As far as content and organization, they're limited content. What does that mean? You're not saying enough. Okay? Pretty key. It's much better to run out of time before you finished your ideas in Toefl than to stop speaking before your time ends. Basic, okay? Oftentimes, it will not hurt you if you run out of time. That's sometimes, mostly, that's usually okay. So level 1, a speaker can't sustain speech. They can't keep going. Maybe they get lost in the middle of answering the question and then they just stop. Maybe the speaker just keeps repeating the same information. That's level 1. They're not moving along in their discourse or dialogue. As far as pronunciation, very simple. Either one of two things. Either your pronunciation is not understandable, so the listener cannot understand the words you're using, or it means that you have very choppy, fragmented speech. You're speaking like this and not speaking in groups of words. Okay, that would be level 1. All right, don't do that. That's that's both part of fluency and actually part of the delivery. But one of those two things, and of course, for vocabulary and grammar, again, a lot of repetition. So looking at level 1, if you're repeating yourself a lot, you're going to be repeating the same words. It's going to show low vocabulary and low ability to change your sentence structure. It's not going to be easy to understand because it may... Level 1, that's basically it. You're just not talking enough and you're repeating yourself a lot. All right? Level 2. Is, as far as organization, you're connected to the topic, and your basic ideas are given, but maybe you have a hard time giving the reasons and examples. Big clue here. Use your personal experience to think about your answer. Even in the latter part of the test, the integrated questions, think if you've had an experience at university that is similar to what they're talking about. It will help you to actually give better supporting sentences. All right. Also, as your skill goes up, you start to use connectives. You start to use connectives like first of all, secondly, as well, or maybe introducing, on a part of the test, you're going to have to talk about opposing views. So use your connectives. On one hand, Sally thinks that the school should open up an extra class. On the other hand, David believes that the school should not. Using those connectives, those phrases, all right, to organize your speech. If you start to use those, well, level 1 won't use those. Level 2, you start to. As far as in your delivery, basically understood, maybe still a little choppy, maybe some self-correction here. Maybe your sentence construction makes it so it's 2 or 3 parts I don't understand as a listener. That's what we're talking about. As far as the language section, again, repetition in words, basic sentence, verb, subject, verb, object sentences, what we call simple sentences. All right, you can speak completely fluently in using simple sentences. The boy hit the dog. The boy, subject, hit, verb, the dog. If you talk like that, even though your speech may be perfect, you get level 4 because you're only using very simple. Okay. Moving on. By the way, anybody have any questions so far?
Yeah, Oakley, I would like to ask you a question.
Please.
It's like in this Toefl, should we speak like for 15 seconds and do not stop until it finishes? Or is it going to give us a signal or something?
Oh, yeah, you're going to have a timer. You're going to be able to see. There is a timer. Good question. Yeah, and it's the first 2 questions. Prep time is 15 seconds. Speak for 45 seconds. And the other 4 questions, you're speaking for 1 minute. The reason it takes 20 minutes is because they give you time to do the reading, to do the listening you have to do. Your actual speaking time is actually only 5.5 minutes, actual speaking time. Yeah, thank you, Russell. That's right. There's a beep with a timer. Right.
Okay.
Very good. Good question.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry, teacher.
Yes.
Tiago, if you want to get more information, or if you want to practice TOEFL, you can enter to this page I write in the box.
Okay,
And
thank
you
you very
can to
much.
practice. Yeah,
Thank
Okay.
you.
it's good. Sorry, teacher.
Hi, no problem. No problem at all. No, you guys want to help each other out. You just make my job easier. It's okay. Doesn't bother me at all. Okay. All right. For a score of 3. What are we looking at? All right. So content or organization. Basically, you're mostly coherent and organized, but you lack some specific details and elaboration. In English, we are in love with specifics. Don't be shy to use specific information. Really, that's how English speakers actually talk. So the more specific you can be in your details, the better you're going to do. Again, at TOEFL, IELTS, whatever, any English speaking test. Sometimes, maybe because of lack of signal words or connectives, those phrases, sometimes one sentence doesn't quite match another. So it's not perfect. This is level 3. You can combat that by being careful to use words like first of all, secondly, as well, I think, things like that. Okay, as far as delivery, generally clear speech, maybe a few problems, a little bit of a problem with pronunciation or intonation or stress of a word. But the listener can pretty much understand everything. If you have one pronunciation problem, like you mix up R's and L's, for example, or CH and SH sounds, this is where you would fall into level 3 in that area. Maybe you keep repeating that one mistake, but you have one pronunciation mistake. This is where you're going to end up. You could actually even possibly still get a 4 if it's with a small pronunciation defect. As far as language, grammar, vocabulary, fairly good use, but maybe your vocabulary, sometimes you use a word and I can understand what you're trying to say, but I would definitely use a different word, something like that. You know, try not to use the same words. If you're thinking of keywords to talk about a topic, your first taking notes time, you should be thinking about synonyms. Synonyms are words that mean the same thing. So you can use different vocabulary, right? It's a good tactic to think of synonyms. Yeah, thank you.
Sorry, I have a question. Have you made that action, TOEFL action?
Have I taken the TOEFL?
Yeah, if you have made that TOEFL.
Well, we used to teach in an academy where I worked, so I've taken the practice tests. I've never actually taken the TOEFL test. No.
Oh, okay.
I can't say that I have. I've seen a lot of material, and I've taken a bunch of practice tests.
But maybe it must be easy for you because you would speak in English. It's just in English or in another.
That's a very good point. And actually, for any of you taking TOEFL, IELTS, TOEIC, or whatever, the IELTS test I have taken in the actual test. And I'll tell you what, they have band scores 1 to 9. I did not get a 9 the first time I took it. I had to myself be tutored about how to take the test. Sometimes it's not so much a test of English as a test of how to take the test. They expect different things in a TOEFL test, an SAT, a TOEIC, an IELTS. They're looking at a little bit different points. Many of them are the same, but not always. So actually, you bring up a very good point. For any of you, practice. You really need to practice if you want to get a really good score. And you really need to understand, like what we're doing today, how things are scored. What things are they looking at? Avoid repetition. Avoid, things that are going to drag down your score. And knowing the simple ways to improve your score. Use signal words. Stay organized. Give a topic sentence, reasons and examples based on your own experience, and then, if you can, a concluding sentence. You do these few simple things and practice, and you're probably going to get a really good score.
Okay, but what's the most important things that you can write, or you can listen, or I don't know. What is the most important?
You mean writing, speaking, listening, reading?
Yeah.
Now, how do you mean important? How do you mean? What do you think I, just as an English-speaking person, think?
I mean, if what is the percent in the test? What is the most important?
Okay. Right. Okay. Thank you for clarifying. In the Toefl IBT, each of those disciplines, reading, writing, speaking, listening, gets a total of 30 points. So you're aiming, perfect score would be 120. So they're all equally measured. Good question, but yeah. So what should you concentrate on of those disciplines? I would concentrate on where I was the weakest. Okay? Or like taking the reading test in Toefl, really, you need to learn some test-taking skills. Hey, I'll be honest with you, I hate the Toefl reading test. Okay? The Toefl reading test is sometimes, it's like this. Okay, it's multiple choice, A, B, C, D. Sometimes the questions are like this. Let me make an example. All right. 3 plus 7 equals A, 9, B, 12, C, 15, or D, 104. None of the answers are correct. They expect you to pick the closest answer. I guess I'll go with 9 because it's logical to, guess one step down. But none of the answers is right.
It's called inference question.
Inference question. That's exactly what I was thinking of, my friend, the inference questions in Toefl. Exactly what I was thinking of. You're supposed to infer something that's not there. So, here, try this. Everyone, what is the color red?
Wow.
It's very difficult to explain it.
How are you going to explain it? And what's red for Rasaal is not red for Richard, and maybe it's crimson to Thiago, and maybe it's maroon for Emerson. It doesn't. It's open to interpretation. It's like artwork. Is that a good piece of art? I don't know. Yeah. It's very much open to the individual's interpretation, so it bugs me. So, you asked me what should you study? Practice speaking and, reading really takes a lot of practice, too. They're pretty lenient in the writing. You can get away with a lot in writing. Listening is all about, if you do the other disciplines, it will help listening. Listening is all about concentration.
Listening is like listening to rock music. You listen to the rock music and you will pass it.
Yeah, if you understand rock, you understand all things.
Yeah, and listening is all about concentration, really. Just focus. Like a major league player, major league pitcher getting ready to pitch in the World Series. He's got to focus. Someone's screaming. It's not me. I'm screaming, Tiago. Maybe it is me.
No, not you. It's like a kid or something.
I don't know. Yeah, okay. Well, apparently they're quiet now, I guess. All right. To get a perfect score 4 in the speaking test. Your answer, as far as content, will include at least 2 points of support. They could be reasons or examples. Well, here we finally have something quite clear and a numerical in value. You need to give 2 or 3 points why you think something, okay, to get a 4. That's pretty clear. Should be pretty clear to everyone. And, of course, because you're using signal words, your answer will be nicely organized. As far as delivery, speech is clear, good use of stress, intonation, and rhythm. You may have, if you have an accent, don't worry about that. For those of you with an accent, perhaps slow down your rate or pace a little bit, and usually that takes care of the problem. You don't get marked down for an accent as long as your accent does not affect the listener's understanding. Okay? Small problems with pronunciation would still be okay. And delivery, you could still get a 4. And as far as language, grammar, and vocabulary, you're using natural expressions like idioms or phrasal verbs, two-word verbs. I went over to my friend's house, went over. And collocations, he was a heavy smoker. Okay, I never say he's a consistent smoker. He's a frequent smoker. No English speaker says that. We call him a heavy smoker. Things like that. If you know where the words always normally fit together, that's where you get a 4. That's where you get a perfect score. Also, at level 4, it is quite clear that you're thinking in English. In other words, your language is automatic. You think of the idea and it spills out of your head in the English language. Okay? Still, you can get a little level 4 if you have minor, small errors, but it doesn't affect the listener's understanding. All right. So hopefully you guys have all downloaded that and you can study it again at your convenience. Tiago, yes? You have a question? Shoot.
Yes, Oakley, I would like to know if in this test they're going to use many different accents, or it's just like American standard accent or British?
Okay, good question. I have some of the things like the recordings, the lectures, I have run into like a slight Indian accent, but they're very small, a little bit Canadian, but Canadian accent's very small to begin with. It's basically American. Toefl is an American test.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So if there is an accent, it's going to be very small. As opposed to IELTS, of course, which is IELTS, Oxford, Cambridge, which is very much a British test. And you're going to hear questions like this, mate.
Yeah.
But yeah, Toefl's basically American accent. Yeah, there may be different. Of course, you know Americans have accents. We have slight. You may hear slight accents, Southern accent, something like that. Slight New York accent, New York City, but mostly basically American.
All right, thank you.
Sure. All right. Well, we can get 15, 16 minutes. Let's try a few questions here. Hang on.
Teacher.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Oh.
What are the topics covered in the exam? Something in particular, or simply?
An excellent question. No, very good question. This is an academic-based test. So, Richard? Are you in university? Are you going to call?
Yeah.
Are you? You are? Okay.
I am studying at the university.
You're starting at the university. Okay, here's what you can do. Go to your university, or anybody, any of you out there, look at the courses offered and look at all the ologies: anthropology, sociology, psychology, all right? Or the graphies, geography, okay? Look at all those academic topics. Look at what a university or any university. In particular, you may pay attention to universities that have fine arts, meaning that they also have classes in art history, dance, okay, things like that. Look at the course listings that they have. Those are going to be the topics. All right.
Okay.
All right. They have weird, strange. Oh, I hear the child now. Oh, okay.
I have a question.
Sure.
Sorry.
Gosh.
When you are doing the test, or the listen or the pronunciation test in the TOEFL, the test allows to do or to repeat sometime every time, or if you just repeat just one.
Repeat what? The question?
Okay, repeating the question. When you are pronouncing the I don't know what else phrases or I don't know.
Oh, okay.
The test allows to repeat it.
I think I understand. If you have a pronunciation problem, I don't know, TH, for example, and there's a lot of TH words. Say voice TH, this, that, the other, the. All right, and you're afraid to stick out your tongue, so you can't make this sound. Yeah. All right. For example.
All right. Yeah.
All right. No, that basically it depends. That's a very good question, and it depends how much it affects the understanding of the listener. Now, if I know what you're saying and I can understand everything you're saying, then you could still possibly, with that one pronunciation problem, still possibly get a 4. Okay? But if it messes up the words to the point where I don't understand the actual word, then you could end up with a 3. You're not going to get nailed each time you do it because it's a repeated one. It's one error you're repeating. You understand? So it's not going to knock you down to a 2. No. A 2 would be frequent and many intonation, stress, and pronunciation errors. Okay? Did that answer your question?
Yeah,
I hope.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, I want to ask a few questions, and we only got like 10 minutes. I want to ask the baby questions. Why are you learning English so young? Kidding. Carolina, you up for a practice question?
Excuse me, I don't listen very well.
Are you ready to try a question?
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Can I have someone go into my bed and repeat?
Okay. Don't quite understand what's going on. Sounds like you're moving around or something.
No, I hear a noise, but it's not for me.
Okay. Okay, are you ready to try a question? Let's just try it. Okay. Who do you feel close to in your family or your extended family? Describe this person and say why you feel close to him or her. Carolina. Go okay. All right, I have a little problem there. Okay, I'm not sure. Emerson, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Hi, Emerson. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for asking, and I'm so happy to see you again.
Well, thank you very much. Happy to see you as well. All right, would you like to try the same question? Let me just repeat it for you. Who do you feel close to in your family or extended family? Describe this person and say why you feel close to him or her.
Actually, I think, but I'm close to my mother because I have your. I'm sorry, I'm getting confused at this time. I'm close to my mother because she has different. I really don't know how to explain that, man. I'm not. I'm not ready.
Okay, you know what? Write down a few words. I'm going to try to come back to you before the end of the class. Okay, Emerson? I want you to write down a few keywords you want to use. All right?
Okay.
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 All right. And I'm going to move on. I'm going to talk to world famous piano player Facundo Herrera. Facundo.
Hi, teacher. How are you?
Hello. How are you?
Fine, thanks.
Good to see you again. Okay. I have a different question for you, but similar. All right. Facundo, are you ready for a question?
Yes.
Okay. Talk about a person in your life who has inspired you. Describe this person and explain why you found him or her inspirational.
Well, I think my sister inspired me. Because she had a lot of. Can I do a list of punctual topics and answer later?
You want the same? You want the same deal that I gave Emerson? Okay, all right, fine.
Please.
Okay, all right. Google Live. Google, are you there? Google Live.
Yes, teacher. Yeah.
Hi.
Hello. Hi.
Are you ready to try a question?
I'm not sure, but yes.
Okay. Don't worry about it. We're all friends here. What is your favorite place to visit on the weekend? Describe it and explain why it is your favorite place to go.
My favorite place is hanging out with my family, and visiting relatives. That's it.
Okay. Well, if you're planning to take a TOEFL test, you're going to have to speak for 45 seconds. So think of details. Think about, what do you do when you're visiting your family? Do you play games? Do you eat? Do you watch movies? What do you do, actually?
Actually, we enjoy in having small talks and what else? Sharing thoughts, ideas, and
Everybody watch TV.
What? Okay. Try to think about what you actually do. Use your personal experience. All right. I didn't really give you time. I should have given you a few seconds. But Okay, Graziane,
Sir.
you ready to try one?
Okay, I'm ready.
What was your
And after
favorite?
that, me.
Yeah, I'll go back and do the people I gave time. What was your favorite subject at school? Describe it and explain why this subject was your favorite subject. Was your favorite one?
My favorite subject in the school when I was in the school many years ago, the mathematics. Mathematics is the I like the mathematics because I don't know, it's the best subject in the school when I was studying. I don't know.
Okay. Now all of these are we're looking at question 1 type questions, so you're going to have to talk about why. There are a lot of questions about favorites and why you like something, whatever. A lot of that. So you're gonna have to be ready to talk about why. Now remember, everyone, you can lie. It's okay. You can make stuff up. There's no Toefl police gonna come interview your school teacher from your elementary school days to find out. So don't worry. Lie.
I will need it.
Are you ready, Emerson?
Okay, let's try again.
Okay.
Never give up.
Never give up. Absolutely. Your question was about family, right? Who do you feel close to in your family or extended family, and describe this person? Say why you feel close to that person. Go ahead.
My mother, because she has a big nose like me, and also she has different personalities that I add. So she remind me every time how to do everything. So when I see her, I feel like her, even though she's a girl or a lady, and I am a man. So that's what I feel when she is talking to me and she's giving me different advices. So I feel that she's the best woman. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, somebody say
teacher,
hello.
how are you?
Yeah. Hello. Somebody. Hello, Victor.
Hi, teacher.
Hi, Victor. Hang on.
Hi, how are you?
I'm okay. We only got a couple minutes. I'm trying to help out Emerson here. Give me a second. All right, Emerson.
There is an strange interpretation in the chat room.
Yeah, hey, wait.
Okay, stop.
Hang on just a second, Victor. I'll get back to you. Or maybe not. We're running out of time. Emerson, very important to speak in full sentences.
So
okay?
actually,
so don't start with my mother. Don't just answer the question with a short phrase or word. So start with a full sentence, and use the question. All right, the person I am most. What was it? I forgot your question already. The person
feel close to me.
Person I feel closest to in my family. Right. The person I feel closest to in my family is my mother. So use the question to make your first sentence. All right.
Okay.
And then what else? God, I made notes and I lost them. One thing I did like though, Emerson, and you should do, and everyone should do. He talked about his feelings. All right. When we talk about our feelings, we naturally have to use more complicated or abstract vocabulary, and it's going to sometimes force us to use different sentence structure. So if you want to talk about your feelings, which of course, obviously that's personal examples as well, on a lot of different levels that can help you out. All right? And I'm really sorry, but we are just about out of time. I know, Facundo, I wanted to give you another chance here. We only got like a minute left.
Well, I was thinking.
Hello.
The person that
Hello.
most inspired to me
Hello.
was my grandfather. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but you may have to answer my question outside of class. I can hang on for
okay.
a few minutes, but so everyone knows, I have to end the broadcast now. We have other teachers and other students who want to join class in Verbling. So I'm going to have to end the class. I will end the recorded audio, but I will stay in class for a minute to take any questions or to listen to Facundo, which I promised him, so I better do it. But for everyone else, thank you very much.
Bye,
Thanks for the class.
teacher. See you.
Thank you, teacher. Bye.